We as a lifting community have to do better about being supportive of each other, even for people who have different goals. Hey, everybody, I thought I should chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And let me be clear, when I make this statement, it's not a case of me saying, oh, I always do this and I'm perfect and shame on you. No, shame on me, because I have in the past done this very thing. Okay? I have in the past done this very thing. I'm working on doing better. And I'm trying to encourage other people in this community to do better. And again, it's okay to be critical of people who are putting out dangerous information. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. Look, if an influencer is putting out legitimately bad and dangerous fitness and training advice, and there are a ton who are, it's okay to correct that and be critical of it. However, we really shouldn't be so critical of people who we don't think that they are achieving the standards we believe they should. Okay? And half the time, by the way, the people who are critical aren't achieving those standards either. Just an FYI. Oh, their physique doesn't look enough. Oh, they're not lifting enough, right? They're not strong enough. They don't have good abs. Their body fat's too high. They're not shredded, or whatever people's criticisms are. They don't have great genetics. This nonsense. Oh, they train CrossFit. Oh, they train bodybuilding. Oh, they train powerlifting. Oh, terrible. Right? Here's why this is a problem. We as a society are so unhealthy and so obese, and we know obesity drives disease, so we need to be clear on that. That is pretty close to being a scientific fact at this point. That is not even debated anymore in medicine or science, that obesity enormously contributes to disease. Now, I don't think we should be making fun of obese people either, though. So let's be clear on that. No, I don't think it's cool to make fun of someone who's obese. We should be encouraging to them. Okay? We should be encouraging to them. And because we live in a society where people are so unhealthy, where it has become the norm, to the point to where people want to force it to be socially acceptable. They want poor health to be almost uplifted and applauded. Okay? When we're at that point as a society, and those of us in the lifting and fitness world are standing around mocking and hating each other, not because they're a bad person, but because we don't like their training style, we don't like their training goals, or we don't think they're strong enough, or we don't think they're good enough. Okay? See why that's a problem? We should be the ones who are uplifting others. Okay, we should be leading by example, right? We should be positive people who are encouraging others around us to lift them up, to, again, lead by example, because as a society, we are failing on this front. Obesity and preventable lifestyle diseases are ravaging us as a society. And if we're standing around spending all of our time being whiny and bitchy and critical of each other, right, of the other people who train, I mean, what message does that send? Right? I mean, if all of us who are training and lifting or into fitness are coming across as judgmental pricks, okay, if that's the way we're coming across, and I get it, sometimes it's hard not to in some cases, right? Especially when we see the way people treat themselves in their bodies. But that's not going to encourage others. That's not going to help us as a society if that's the way we're being perceived, because it's the way that we're acting. We want to encourage people to be involved in fitness communities and lifting communities and training communities, and for people to eat better, to train more. We have to be encouraging of that, and being positive and being reinforcing of those things, and being encouraging, being uplifting. We'll do a lot more to make other people want to emulate us. Not for our own benefit, right? Not for our own egos, but for the general good of society. Not just the good of society, but the good of the individual, because that's really what it's about, right? The harm caused by a lot of this is obviously because the individual's not healthy. The individual's not fit. The individual's sick. And when it's at a widespread level like it is, that's bad for everybody. It's bad for society as a whole. Okay? The strain on healthcare. The strain on food supply, the resources. Okay? So again, we need to be encouraging. And what I would suggest to people, how are we going to be encouraging and uplifting to the people who aren't training and aren't fit at all? If we can't even be encouraging and uplifting to the other people who are putting in the work. Right? Let me state that again. If we cannot even be encouraging to the other people who are putting in the work and actually doing the stuff that we know that we need to be encouraging everybody to do, maybe with just a different goal and different results than we have, or a different style. If we can't be positive and supportive and uplifting of that, how are we going to be encouraging and uplifting to the person who is completely sedentary? How are we going to be uplifting to the person who needs to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds? How are we going to be positive and uplifting to the guy who struggles to bench press the empty bar? Again, when we're like, oh, this guy barely benches 300 pounds. Wow, he's so weak. Oh, you only deadlift 425. You're so weak. Oh, you only barely have a slightly flat stomach. You're so fat. You're so out of shape. You don't have perfect bicep symmetry. Do you even lift, bro? Okay. Think about that. We can't even encourage the other people and uplift those who are putting in the work. How are we going to lift everybody else up? And if we can't lift up society collectively, then we have failed. We have to do better. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.